with a club or with clubs to try and drive programs and give them examples of what they can actually do in real terms, informed by the research,
Okay. Any other thoughts on this one?
I think just reiterating Paul's comments there, kind of what can be done at a local level from a club perspective, and kind of we're trying to work with our clubs on developing things like sponsorship plans and stuff like that. And I don't know if it's possible that there could be a little bit of work done in terms of the value of a community club in the local area and the exposure that that club can have and the benefit that that then has for a business. We can then help clubs generate, sustainable revenues that way. And it's not really something we have the expertise to do. So I don't know if that's something that could be done from a Sport Ireland perspective, but that then could be delivered at a local level, just so clubs can start to be generating, some sustainable incomes rather than relying on us or on grants and things like that.
Okay. So we've talked about like examples of the type of information that would be of value to you going forward, and maybe that's something Sport Ireland can lead out on to provide. What other types of support do you think the Sport Ireland Research Unit could provide to your organization? And David, you kind of touched upon that a little bit when you said, provide support in terms of how to actually do research. So maybe ideas like that I'd like to hear more about. How would you envisage your relationship with the Sport Ireland Research Unit in your head, in an ideal world?
I suppose from my end, I can only really support what David was saying in terms of having some guidance or some empowerment to do our own research, because the research unit can't be all things to all people, and there will be certain areas that just badminton will have an interest in or will want to delve into, and guidance around what we need to do and how we can go about doing it. Maybe a list of preferred suppliers to deliver the research. Things like that would be very useful for us if we were going to go down that road ourselves. So I would support David's suggestion on that.
I suppose maybe just to add in assistance on funding to be able to carry out that as well.
To carry that research, and I've done quite a bit of it in the past. Like, it's expensive to do your own, bespoke research. So being practical, and all of us come from smaller sports, so that will be a big challenge. Obviously, doing stuff like Survey Monkeys or whatever, doing that kind of very basic research can be done easily enough. But certainly, if you wanted to do any kind of reasonable qualitative research, so I don't know whether maybe there could be, and I mentioned earlier on about doing some focus groups with people, and again, that doesn't necessarily have to be sport specific. So it could be research that can be pooled, and that could be useful to a number of different sports. It's just one, maybe.
Okay. I'm guessing you've all have had to deal with a number of strategies in the past, and you've mentioned that some of you are currently working on developing your own strategy. What do you think a good research strategy looks like? Or what do you think a good strategy looks like?
Very good question.
Let's know at the end of it. Well, the first thing is, it has to be in I suppose, a very easy to read format. It's not too pulled on for 50, 60 pages. I think definitely going back to infographics again, whoever mentioned it earlier on, pictures paint 1,000 words. It has to be actually able to relate right down to grassroots level. If you're not able to communicate actually your strategy down to grassroots level, no point doing it in the first instance. And that's the only thing I'd say in it. It has to be clear.
Okay, I might flip that question. Maybe that's easier to answer. What does a bad strategy look like?